Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're the show that, tries to take all this complex research and just boil it down.
Make it actionable, right? And today, wow, are we diving into something huge? Sleep?
Hmm.
Or maybe the lack of it?
Exactly. That feeling of just not being able to switch off. It feels like modern life, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's not just feeling tired. We're talking about a foundational health crisis here.
It's like we're fighting our own brains sometimes. Be honest, how many times have you said, okay, tonight I'll sleep early,
Uh-huh.
put the phone down, and then your mind's just racing?
All the time. But the good news is, the sources we looked at give some really precise ways to, manually hit the brakes on that.
Yeah, actual techniques. But first, let's just establish the stakes, because this isn't optional, is it? Sleep is critical.
Absolutely non-negotiable. And you really need to grasp this. Studies are showing that people getting less than 7 hours a night consistently, they face a 30% higher risk of heart disease.
30%. Wow, that's huge.
It is. It really reframes sleep, doesn't it? Not just nice to have, but essential health maintenance.
So we have to stop thinking of it as just something that, hopefully happens. We need to see it as something we can actively manage, maybe even engineer.
Right. It's the body's reset button. Skip it, and everything suffers. Your thinking, your mood.
Your physical health, obviously, with risks like that.
It's all about recovery.
Hmm.
Without that recovery phase, you're just running on empty. It hits your focus, memory, everything. Long-term health, too, obviously.
Okay, so our mission today is clear. We're moving past the vague, get more sleep advice. We're digging into the specific, science-backed shortcuts our sources offer. We're talking breathing, temperature, even chemistry, things you can actually do.
Let's get practical.
So where do we start? What's the biggest enemy when the lights go out for most people?
Well, I think we all know the answer to that one. It's the phone, the screen.
Right.
And our sources are really clear. It's not just about the blue light anymore. We know about that. It's the way these apps are built.
You mean like the endless scrolling, TikTok, Instagram reel?
Exactly that. Short videos, social feeds. They're literally engineered to grab your attention and keep delivering these little reward hits. Dopamine.
Ah, okay. So it's different from just reading an article online. It's the constant newness, the quick hits.
It keeps your brain buzzing. It's looking for the next thing, the next little reward. That's the total opposite of winding down.
So you're basically training your brain to stay alert right when it needs to power down.
You got it. And that constant stimulation, it actively suppresses melatonin. That's the hormone telling your body, hey, it's dark, time to sleep.
You're overriding your own biology with your thumb.
Pretty much. So the big takeaway here has to be taking back control, setting a real boundary, like phone off, maybe even out of the room well before bed.
Otherwise, your brain just physically can't make that shift into sleep mode.
It needs time to transition.
And if that 30% heart disease risk wasn't enough motivation, let's zoom out again. What does this constant lack of sleep do to our actual thinking, beyond just feeling, foggy?
Oh, it's really quite devastating when you look at the research. It's not just concentration or remembering where you put your keys.
Right.
It fundamentally impacts higher level thinking. Our sources point out that chronic sleep loss literally stifles creativity.
Really? Creativity.
Yeah. And it makes good decision making way harder. Problem solving, too. It's like trying to run complex software on a computer that's constantly overheating and overloaded.
That's a great analogy. And besides the heart disease risk, we're talking higher chances of high blood pressure, obesity, stroke.
The list goes on. It hammers home the point. Sleep is recovery, mental and physical.
Okay, message received. Put the phone away. Easier said than done, but crucial.
Definitely.
But then what? Phone's down, lights are out, mind is still going. How do we manually flip that switch?
Right. This brings us to the first big scientific shortcut, something you can do immediately.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's the 478 breathing technique.
That's the one. It's fantastic. No equipment needed, and it has real science behind it. It was popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil, a Harvard-trained physician.
Okay, so how does it work? Lay it out for us.
It's super specific. You breathe in quietly through your nose for a count of 4.
Okay, 4 seconds in.
Then, you hold your breath for a count of 7 seconds.
Hold for 7. Got it.
And finally, you exhale completely through your mouth, making a little whoosh sound for a count of 8 seconds.
8 seconds out, huh? 4, 7, 8, it seems. Kind of specific. Why those exact numbers? Does it really work better than just, taking a few deep breaths?
That's the key question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yes, the numbers matter. It's not just deep breathing. It's about the ratio, and especially that long exhale.
Okay. Tell me more. How does that ratio trick the brain?
Well, there are a couple of things happening. First, that 7-second hold allows just a little bit more carbon dioxide to build up in your bloodstream than usual.
Carbon dioxide? Isn't that bad?
Only in large amounts.
Mm.
A slight temporary increase acts as a signal. It stimulates the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve. I've heard of that. That's linked to the relaxation response, right?
Exactly. It's the main highway to your parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
That's your body's rest and digest system, the opposite of fight or flight.
Ah, okay. So the hold starts that process. What about the long exhale? The 8 seconds.
That's crucial too. Extending the exhale longer than the inhale directly slows your heart rate. It also helps lower cortisol levels. That's your main stress hormone.
So you're using the breath pattern to physically tell your nervous system, okay, emergency's over, time to chill out.
You're basically manually overriding the stress signals, telling your body it's safe to relax deeply.
That's fascinating. It's much more targeted than just relax, and there's actual research on this specific technique.
Absolutely. Studies, like those mentioned in the Journal of Clinical Psychology, have shown these kinds of controlled breathing methods significantly reduce anxiety.
And help with insomnia.
Yeah, help with insomnia, yeah. It's like having a neurological off switch you can control with just your breath. Pretty cool.
Definitely cool. Okay, so we've calmed the nervous system with breath control. That's powerful. But what if your bedroom itself is working against you?
Good transition. Because the environment matters.
Yeah.
A lot. Which brings us to method number 2, temperature.
Right, optimal room temperature. This one surprised me a bit. I always thought cozier, warmer rooms were better for sleep.
That's a common misconception. The research is actually pretty consistent and points the other way.
So what's the magic number, according to the science?
The sweet spot seems to be between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit.
60 to 67 F, that's about 15 to 20 Celsius. Wow, that actually sounds quite cool.
It is cool, yeah.
Why? Why is cooler better for falling asleep?
It all ties back to your core body temperature. Naturally, when you fall asleep, your internal temperature needs to drop by a couple of degrees.
Okay.
That drop is a key biological signal to your brain. It says, okay, initiate deep sleep, specifically the NREM, non-rapid eye movement sleep. That's the really restorative stuff.
I see. So if the room is too warm.
Your body struggles to shed that heat.
Yeah.
It finds it harder to make that necessary temperature drop.
And that makes it harder to fall asleep and harder to get into that deep sleep stage.
Precisely. It disrupts the whole process. You might fall asleep eventually,
Yeah.
but the quality might be worse.
So it's a signaling issue again, just like with the light. Your body needs that cool signal.
Right.
So a practical tip then would be maybe use lighter blankets. Even if the room is cool, don't trap too much heat around your body.
That's a great point. You want the cool air, but you don't want to counteract it with a super heavy duvet that just traps all your body heat.
Yeah.
Light, breathable bedding is the way to go.
Find that balance between cool room and comfortable covering. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, breath control, temperature control. What's the final piece? This one might be the hardest for a lot of us.
Method 3, chemical control. Specifically, caffeine.
Ah, caffeine, my old friend and nemesis. I know that 4 p.m. coffee can sometimes feel like it's still buzzing at 10 p.m. That's not just in my head, right?
Definitely not just in your head. And the science explains why. We often hear caffeine stays in your system for, what, up to 6 hours?
Yeah, something like that. The half-life.
Right, the half-life is around 6 hours. So if you have coffee at 3 p.m., half of that caffeine is still active in your system at 9 p.m.
Wow, half of it.
But it's not just about the stimulation effect. There's something else going on related to a chemical called adenosine.
Adenosine, what's that?
Adenosine is something your brain produces naturally throughout the day. It gradually builds up, and the more you have, the sleepier you feel. It creates sleep pressure.
Okay, so it's like the brain's natural sleepiness signal.
Exactly. Now, guess what caffeine does? It's structurally similar to adenosine.
Oh, no, don't tell me it blocks it.
It slots right into the adenosine receptors in your brain and blocks them. So the adenosine builds up, but your brain can't detect it properly.
Whoa, so caffeine doesn't just perk you up, it actively masks your natural tiredness signals.
That's the really crucial insight. You're hijacking your brain's ability to know it's tired.
So my 3 p.m. coffee isn't just stimulating me then, it's actively preventing my brain from getting the go-to-sleep memo 6 hours later when the adenosine should be high.
That's precisely the problem. Even if you don't feel wired anymore, those receptors are still blocked. So even small amounts later in the day, say after 2 or 3 p.m.,
Coffee, tea, energy drinks.
yeah, they can seriously interfere with your ability to fall asleep naturally because your internal chemistry is being fooled.
So setting a hard cutoff time, like 2 p.m., is really important to let that adenosine actually do its job later.
You got it. Let the natural sleep pressure build and be detected.
Okay, this is all incredibly actionable. Let's recap the big takeaways for everyone listening.
Right. We've covered 3 major scientific shortcuts. First, cut off the screens well before bed to stop that constant brain stimulation.
Stop overwriting your melatonin. Second, use the 4-7-8 breathing technique, that specific pattern to manually trigger your relaxation response.
Flip that neurological lock switch. Third, cool down your bedroom. Aim for that 60 to 67 Fahrenheit, 15 to 20 Celsius range to help your core body temperature drop.
Signal deep sleep onset. And finally, watch the caffeine. Set a cutoff time, probably around 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. latest, to stop blocking those natural adenosine signals.
Don't hijack your tiredness.
And the payoff here, it's way more than just feeling less grumpy in the morning, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're talking about actively reducing your risk for serious health problems down the line. Heart disease, high blood pressure.
And boosting your brain power for the next day. Better focus, creativity, decision-making.
A good night's sleep really does set you up for a more productive, energetic day. It's an investment.
So maybe don't try to tackle all of them at once if it feels overwhelming.
Good point. Start small. Maybe try the 4-7-8 breathing tonight. Just notice if it makes a difference.
See how you feel. Remember, you're not just trying to sleep. You're actively maintaining your body and mind.
Well said.
Okay. As we wrap up this deep dive, we always like to leave you with a final thought to chew on, something to connect the dots. So we talked about the 4-7-8 breathing activating the rest and digest system. And we talked about the cool temperature signaling the body to initiate deep sleep.
Right. Internal control and external environment.
So here's the thought. If you combine them, how much more effective might that 4-7-8 breathing be if you practice it right after you've set your room to that optimal cool temperature?
Creating a synergy. Using the environment to prep the body, then using the breath to seal the deal.
Exactly. Could layering these techniques amplify the effect? Something to experiment with. Find that synergy between inside and out. Good luck and sleep well.